Hello, guys. Everybody is mesmerized by the movie Pushpa the Rule. After Pushpa the Rise in 2021, people are jumping over the Pushpa the Rule movie, and it is actually it is breaking all the records that are made by previous movies like Bahubali and all those Dangal, etc., etc. And the phenomenon is not only Indian or Telugu, but it can be observed across the globe. Pushpa the Rule. Now, the point here is after spending 3 plus 3, Pushpa the Rule and Pushpa the Rise, if we can learn something from Pushpa, it will be really great, isn't it? Other than entertainment, obviously. If you can learn something about Pushpa, something about our careers and our difficulties, and if at all Pushpa can help us overcome some of these aspects of the career progress or career movement ahead, really great. That is what my objective of this video is. Obviously, Pushpa is a character that will be used as an analogy to understand the concepts or understand the lessons or understand the observations in a better way. We are nowhere no promoting Pushpa's illegal activities. We know that Pushpa is an anti-hero basically. So he is involved in illegal red sandal smuggling, which we should not. But whatever he does in his career is depicted in the movies, and that is exactly why we are using Pushpa as a example to understand what all things we can learn from these movies and what all can be implemented in our careers based on these observations that can be seen from the movies. I'm using movie as a medium because movies are far-reaching and movies are already there. Movies are well advertised. They have good budgets, etc., etc. So whatever we think, it can be visualized immediately. That is why we are using Pushpa. As you know, Pushpa is a character. Before getting into Pushpa, the resume, after Pushpa the Rule, Pushpa the Rise, Pushpa the Rule, Pushpa the Rampage, Pushpa the resume for us. So let us understand what Pushpa stands for as an individual, as a professional. Though he's on the wrong side of the law, but we are just trying to understand what all positive aspects of his characteristics that we can observe and learn. So the point here is Pushpa, as you know, is coming from a humble background. He's not getting enough respect, appreciation, and he's getting insulted at every walk of every step that he's taking in his life and in the early stages of his life. In the Pushpa the Rise, the first episode. So the first thing that we need to understand is know your levers. Basically, in case of Pushpa, we need to understand what is motivating him, what is inspiring him, what is pushing him to do whatever that is doing, to whatever decisions that is making, or to follow whatever thoughts or decision making or objectives that is aspiring to. So all these levers we need to understand, and these levers are basically insult, acceptance, and appreciation. He's basically craving for acceptance from the society, from the family, by having the surname of his father. Then he's also craving for acceptance from his family, the extended family, since they are not accepting him as a legitimate child of his father. And obviously, insult. The biggest lever in Pushpa's as a character in his life is insult. That he's getting insulted at every walk, every step he's taking in his life, either because of the background of his family, the way his father's family is treating him, or because of the poverty. So money is also a very big contributor or the influencer in this character's life. The next point is know your value, basically. So in Pushpa's case, we can see that this gentleman, not gentleman exactly, this anti-hero knows what he stands for, he knows what he's capable of, he knows what he can do, he knows what he can achieve. That is exactly why even after being a normal worker in the smuggling industry, when he attends a meeting with a local distributor, so to say, Shrinu, he basically says that I can be better than Shrinu and I can bring in more profits than Shrinu, and I can be a good team leader than Shrinu, etc., etc. So knowing the value, this is just a rise of Pushpa. Then also, while in the Rule, the next stages of his life, he's obviously making good stride. He's taking good strides wherein he knows his value, and that is exactly how he will try in the Rule. He tries to bypass the Chennai distributor and he approaches the clients directly for selling red sandal. Then the next important point that can be observed from Pushpa's character is the building relationships, alliances, and networks. Knowing very well that he's a very fiercely independent guy, and he's self-reliant basically. He does not depend on anybody to take decisions or help. But at the same time, he also knows that to work in the workplace, you must work with people, you must work with enemies, you must work with competition, you must work with market, you must work with like-minded people, you must work with people who don't like you, etc., etc. And then obviously there are a large group of neutral people who are not bothered about what you do or what you don't. So understanding these relationships and how they can be helpful in the future, how you can be helpful in these relationships is important. Then building alliances and networks so that we can help the people in need at the same time. Those people in our networks and in our alliances, in our lobbies can help us in return. So this is understanding of basically relationships, lobbies, alliances, and networks in individual's career. In just like Pushpa, in our careers also, we must know who will be the right person to help us in case we need any help, or who is the right person whom we can help if he needs any help. So this is understanding of how networks can be built, and then alliances that can basically foster these relationships throughout their lives. It is not a momentary or transactional a relationship or network or alliance. So next point is adapt and evolve. So whatever he's doing in the smuggling industry as an anti-hero, so whatever situation he's facing, he's basically trying to adopt and evolve based on the situation, based on the reaction necessary, and he can overcome all the personal issues, commercial issues, professional issues, career-related issues, etc., etc. So this is not being stubborn about certain things is what makes Pushpa very flexible and elastic in making decisions, approaching people, and then obviously in the for example, let me give you example of the rule wherein he basically agrees to apologize to Shekhawat in the rule, even after even it being against his will and mindset. He accepts to do it in the larger interest of the smuggling industry. So this is what adapt and evolve is. The next point is learn to navigate office politics, as we have already understood. If at all a common worker in the raid sandal mining, raid sandal industry can become a local distributor, national distributor, and he starts international operations. Obviously, without understanding how to navigate office politics, it is not possible. How to work with people, how to work against people, how to work along people is very important, and understanding of human nature is also important, so that you can anticipate their moves and then accordingly take care of your objectives and agendas. Then there is strategic thinking, problem solving, risk taking, and decision making. So whatever problems he's facing in his personal life, family life, social life, or professional life, then his ability to make ways out of this critical situations, complex situation is what strategic thinking helps him in. Then a strategic thinking can make you aware of certain possible ways and means of avoiding difficult situations. The important point is to understand risk involved in taking all those actions and decisions. Then the next step is the ability to take decisions at the right time and being responsible for your own decisions without depending on anybody or without blaming anybody. This is very important. Then once we strategic thinking, problem solving skills, then risk taking ability, decision making, then obviously once you decide to do something, you need resources. So resourcefulness is also very important. So resourcefulness and problem solving, let me give you example in the rule. For example, when Shekhawat decides to block all the traffic that Pushpa road traffic, to block Pushpa from sending 2,000 tons out of the city, then Pushpa uses riverbeds to ply his trucks. Pushpa uses the riverbed to drive his trucks with red sandal and by lowering the water level in the river. So this is about problem solving and resourcefulness. Though again, let me say it again, Pushpa is an anti-hero. That is why he's on the wrong side of law. We are not at all promoting illegal activities or anti-heroes. What we're trying to basically say is, after spending 3 + 3 6 hours, is there anything at all other than entertainment that we can learn, that we can take home with us? These are the pointers that I think will help us. Then obviously the important point is independence and self-reliance and playing the long game. When we say independence, he is not at all dependent on anybody in making decisions or executing them. and he's taking responsibility of the pros and cons of both. At the same time, he's looking at a larger picture wherein he's basically when he decides to, as I said, he's playing the large picture when he is transitioning from a local worker to a local leader distributor, then Chennai distributor, then obviously international operations. At the same time, taking care of all those repercussions of his activities, based not only to his family but also to relatives and in the larger context society. So, being an anti-hero, we must appreciate and we must these positive aspects of this character, but obviously we cannot glamorize, or we cannot promote the illegal side of whatever he's doing. So these were some of the aspects I thought will be helpful in understanding or utilizing the 6 hours spent in Pushpa. As you know, Pushpa the Rise was the first thing, Pushpa the Rule is second, Pushpa the Rampage is coming, and whatever we can learn from all these aspects is Pushpa the resume. And that is what our selfish motive should be. So whatever Pushpa does on the wrong side of the law, we will utilize the positive traits or the positive characteristics or positive capabilities of this character, and we'll try and learn how it can be utilized in our personal and professional lives. So just to summarize, what we saw was, know your levers. Whether insults motivates you, whether appreciation motivates you, or whether acceptance motivates you. In my personal opinion, insults tend to motivate anybody and everybody across the age groups. So let me give you an example. One of my colleagues used to have the family business of oil making, and he was insulted by some relatives, etc., stating that you will not even be able to continue with the tradition of oil making. And this gentleman, because of insult, decided that in my life I will never sell oil, but I'll be far better than all of these people in a positive context. And that is what he is doing in his life in IT. So this is the insult. Basically, if you think about all the people around you, the basic core crux of the matter, people will always say that I need to be rich, etc., but the core crux of the person's behavior lies at insult someplace by some people that he has experienced, and he is not able to get out of his head. So insult can also be positive motivator. Then know your value and assert it from time to time. Do not allow other people to value you based on their needs and necessities and convenience. You can know your value and you must assert it in your workplace and your surroundings. Then the building relationships, importance of building relationships, networks and alliances. Then there is adapting, evolving based on the situation. Then there is learning to navigate office politics, because other than working with people, there is nothing that we can do in this life. And if you have to succeed in life, working with people is the only way. And working with the people involves office politics, and we must play office politics game, if not to hurt any others, at least to protect ourselves and our agendas and our objectives. Then obviously there is strategic thinking, resourcefulness, decision making, risk taking abilities. So, and independence, self-reliance, and playing the long game. So these were aspects that I thought I could understand or observe from Pushpa the character. Let me repeat it again. Now, this film industry, you will be selling us Pushpa the Rise, Pushpa the Rule, Pushpa the Rampage. In our own interest, we must look at Pushpa the resume. Thank you very much.